What can be in exchange? What is like kind when we apply it to real property? Now people look at 1031 companies and say we're real estate companies. Well, we're not. We have nothing to do with real estate, honestly, other than it's one asset class we work with. So we're looking at real property, which is why we're here today talking about it. The like-kind requirement for personal property is totally different than the like-kind requirement for real property. Real property is a very broad definition. You can exchange out of a rental house into an apartment building, into dirt, office buildings, strip malls, a place at the beach to retire into. All those things are going to be of like kind. It has to do intent, not time, and it's not exactly what it's been all those years. So it's very broad definition. You can see in there that that building on the about the 10 o'clock area, it says build to suit or a 30-year lease. A 30-year leasehold interest in property actually constitutes like-kind property, constitutes real property. 30-year lease or a lease with extensions to 30 years. So even that will fit. So it's a very broad definition. When we look at this Tax Reform Act, the measure that they put forth, this is something that they have been kicking around a little bit, is tightening the like-kind requirement, which is a problem. Because 1031 is one of those tools. I think the politicians, a lot of them look at it as something for the very wealthy. I would submit that it's one of the only tax things that is really there for just the everyday Joe, because this can be used by anybody. It's an inexpensive tool. You don't have to have a high-powered lawyer to do it. I mean, when you're talking these huge estates, these big, big people, they don't pay taxes. They've got teams of lawyers taking care of stuff, tax people. But for the everyday person, you know, I've got a guy, I'll never forget, we're on the first floor down here in the hallway, so we have walk-in people. One of the guys that works on the elevators came in one day, just came in, said, hey, can I sit down with somebody? So I went out and sat down with him. You know, he's an elevator repairman. And he lived over in Northeast. He's a really nice guy. So one of his neighbors was moving away. He'd always help this gal out with different things. She says, hey, I'm going to sell my house. Are you interested? Well, yeah, sure, I'll buy it. So he ends up buying it. So another neighbor came to him one day. He buys it. So he's got very little money. Now he's got, you know, millions of dollars worth of property. It's great. He doesn't have tax or legal people to take care of him, but he saw what we did. He understood, and he can do it. And for $1,000, he does an exchange. That's a pretty nice situation. So
it's a way better investment than the stock market, where you just give your money away to somebody you have no idea what it is, or, you know, I mean, it's way you're right. It's so much easier than, you know,
so,
you know what you're investing in.
So, well, we say invest in what you know, but think about real estate. Okay, do you have to? I always joke I'm in the business selling real estate to real estate people. If you buy gold, what are you betting? That it goes up in value, right? If you buy a stock, what are you betting? It goes up in value. Maybe you have a dividend on it, rarely. You buy real estate, it doesn't have to go up to make you money. No, you've got interest deductions, you've got depreciation, you've got the cash flow. The thing could never go up, and you could have, you know, you got a kid going to college, maybe you buy the house that the kids live in and let the kid manage it. So the roommates are going to be buying the property for them. I mean, it doesn't have to go up, and but typically over time it's going to. So it's, you know, pretty darn nice deal. So any real property held for investments, like kind with any real property, is your intent to hold for investment.